Martin, in this age of remakes, reboots, reimaginings, resequels, recycles. Whatever they're warming up again. You wonder why y'all got to go and always do all these remakes and reboots when there's still a lot of good television shows that y'all could just make movies out of.
That's just the way you make me feel. Who steals? Your manager. Need money.
Outstanding. Angels.
I would have helped him. I would have helped him before I told him about dtmerch.com. I'm going to get you out, sir. But first, let me tell you about these slides that we got here. These new shoes, man. This looks like a mainstay item right there. The heather shirts, the different colors, and also the many items that have been in there before. Cups, phone covers. There's things I'm still waiting on, and some people said, "Man, you can't do that in this day and age." I'm still waiting on that Different Strokes movie. I think there's some comedy to be had about an old white dude that adopts two poor black kids. If that don't look like some pedophile shit right there, come on in, boys. Yeah, drive. Comedy writes itself.
It does.
There's a lot of good TV.
The internet would never stop talking.
Man, make that shit, man. Look, that shit look creepy as you see that shit. Yeah, boys, hey, how you doing? Look, watch this. Look. Yeah, your mom told me to come get you. Come on in, yeah.
Yeah. Pay good money for you, boys.
Yeah, lock the doors. Drive, mother.
Step on it, Jeeves.
Yeah, man. As I said, man, that's begging for a big screen adaptation right there. So, with all that, why are they making all these reboots and remakes when you got good TV to make movies out of?
Right.
It's been done.
And sometimes you have Charlie's Angels.
And that's the thing, man, because you have Charlie's Angels right here, which is, you look at that, and with Charlie's Angels, we're looking at the 2000 Charlie's Angels. This Charlie's Angels, that's 20 years old now, man.
Is it 20 years old?
Man, that's 2000.
Jesus.
In 2019.
Whoa,
Okay, Martin, it's 19 years old.
Still.
19 years old.
Wow.
So the argument can be made that, you know what? Well, this is old enough now that it can be rebooted and remade. The other argument is that some people think that movie that was made 20 years ago, we got kids who are young enough now to where they think that is the original Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't know about that old shit. Mm-hmm. They don't know about that. They don't even know that there was a 70s TV show called Charlie's Angels. Damn, he'd even tried.
I know. But that used to be a thing back in the 70s, and 60s and the 70s, where a judo move was just to grab somebody's arm and flip it, and they would just flip over.
But that mother, he didn't even fight. Man, they told that mother, they said, just let her have it.
Yeah.
Don't fight her. She's just a chick. Just let her have it. Flipped him on his ass. The other argument that can be made is that, well, today, with female empowerment being what it is.
Yeah, it's all girl power.
It's all girl power. This Charlie's Angels, sure, you had the other two films out there, but this one could really come in and take advantage of girl power like none of these other films before it, or TV shows before it have done. A good message does not always make a good movie, Martin.
No?
No, it does not.
No.
Good intentions, Martin, does not always make for a good quality film.
All right. I gotta change the whole way I think about these things.
Martin, you do. I hate to just turn your world around right now. But Martin, I don't know what you thought about this movie right here. We saw it together. And that's where we come in with a movie that's full of feminism and girl power and empowerment and all that kind of stuff. That's fine and great and everything. But, there's a lot of people out there that say, I don't give a shit. I mean, as much as it means something to somebody, some people say, I don't give a shit.
Sure. You got the anti-people. It's like, oh, is this a bunch of feminism and girl power? I don't want to hear all that.
You mean a movie where a girl can kick my ass?
Yeah.
I don't want to see that shit.
I mean, it is Charlie's Angels, so I don't know why you come in angry about that. But
No, but that ain't never stopped people. But you know what? Maybe this movie would be so good, so action-packed, so fast-paced, so full of explosion.
that it could win over the haters.
Did I say explosion? It's so good of
You might have.
so good of explosion that it might win some of these people over. Let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for Charlie's Angels.
What did you do to Sven?
I compressed his carotid and deoxygenated his brainstem.
Well, that sounds painful.
Don't worry, he's gonna wake up.
Unless he doesn't.
It's got a cool spy premise. You know, again, for the females. James Bond ain't the only one who should be able to go out there and do that shit.
Sure.
You know, these girls can save the world too. You know, here we got these girls who, you know, they're stylish, they're sexy, but at the same time, they're able to go out there and save the world from a revolutionary energy device that somebody wants to take and actually weaponize. And like the research department didn't realize this shit before they put it out. You know? But they do all this. Hey, you know, those are dumb guys, right? They put all this together. You know, these girls are gonna come in here and make everything right. And at the same time, they're gonna be good role models for all the little girls out there too. And I'm gonna even say that with this, now understand that this is somewhat of a soft reboot. Mm-hmm. Look, it's really a reboot, but it ain't got shit to do with these other things. What they do is that they just show you actors from the last movies, because they showed you some from the Charlie's Angels from 2000.
Did they?
Yeah, they should. So this is just a way to say,
Okay.
you know, look, it's just a way to like for the people who remember that to still try to cash in on that old shit while not having to be responsible or attached or have
Or
to
pick up any
pick up
storylines.
any left storylines from that at all. So they get to like do something completely new. But what I appreciate with it is that it does do its own thing.
Yeah, it's got a whole different, you know, even I'd say fresh look about it.
Well, the first one was more. Or when I say first film, 2000. That's more of a action comedy.
Yeah.
This is more of a straightforward action flick. It's got some funny things
With some
in
comedic
there.
bits here and there. But.
Yeah, you know they make jokes along the way, but most of the time, you know, this is trying to be more of a straightforward spy action flick. And you know, I will even say that the action is pretty cool. Mostly, when I say the action is cool, I mean mostly in the areas of stunts. You know, they do some good choreography when they go into a wide shot. There's a scene where they're fighting with tables and they're doing some table foo, you know, and they're like climbing over the table and under it, kicking each other's asses. But when they got to fight up close, those fight scenes must have looked like shit because that editor went crazy.
Yeah, no.
That editor cut every second. It's almost like watching a fight. You doing this, trying to keep up. Shit, I can't see what they're doing. It's like, man, it's very choppy.
It is.
And that's the editor. Poor editor just worked with what he had. He just like I'll cut it wherever I get a glimpse. but mostly the fight scenes are cool. Being that this is directed by Elizabeth Banks, who was in the movie like, as one of the Bosleys.
Yeah.
You know, her only movie that she directed, full length movie, was Pitch Perfect 2.
Right.
Which is a comedy. So coming off of a comedy and doing more of an action flick, I give her credit for being able to handle those scenes pretty well.
Sure. She's not an action director. So as someone who's not an action director, you go like, okay, I can see how you this up.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get mad at you. It wasn't in your wheelhouse.
I'm not gonna even say she completely f***ed a lot of things up, but I would look.
Well, I'm not saying she fucked a lot of things up, but the action scenes, because you're right, the choreography on some of them was pretty good, and some of the action scenes, like, hey, this really works.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, especially close-up fighting, you're like, yeah, that's not how you do this.
You might as well just had a dust cloud with hands and legs coming out of it and shit. Because I can't. One of them cartoon dust clouds. I can't see shit anyway.
Yeah.
But as far as the rest of the movie goes, look.
Well, you're not digging this?
Martin, don't even play because you know you weren't either.
Here's the thing, man. This movie, I like what the movie is about. I like what it's going for. I like that it's got its own take on things. It's just that it's doing too many things. It has such a serious identity crisis.
Yeah.
And no clear unified vision. Because the humor, like most of the jokes fall flat, especially when they stop to do jokes.
Yeah.
It's like, stop doing that. Just get back to the action.
Yeah.
The plot is that same generic television series to movie plot.
Well,
where
it did come from a TV show. So.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying every time they do this, like you remember the first Mission Impossible?
Yeah.
It's like we can't just get a Mission Impossible movie. It has to be somebody on the team who's a mole.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get this thing that's going to, the end of the world and all this. It's like, all right, I know I'm coming to a Charlie's Angels movie. I shouldn't expect anything original, but goddamn,
Man,
just a little something.
You know what I'm expecting? I'm expecting a movie.
Yeah.
This ain't.
Yeah.
This is not. This woman came on this. When I say that she ain't no action director, she's like those people from the '90s, like those video directors who directed their first movie, and they have more style than movie.
Yeah.
This ain't so much a movie than it is a bunch of Instagram moments.
Ooh. No, you're right about that.
Because
that's a great way to put it.
I mean, it's there's not a story. It's just them having Instagram moments. Or I guess you can do Instagram stories, but because I mean that's the thing. But you know what I'm saying? It's because it's like everything in the movie, instead of progressing the story, everything is, oh, wow, look at these cool outfits I'm posing in. Oh, look at this wild party I'm at. Yeah. Oh, look at this cool vacation spot.
Yeah.
I got to take a trip for it because I'm an influencer.
Right,
you know?
Right.
You know?
Yeah. No, you're right about that.
Everything in here it works for style instead of the plot of the film. The movie, it's got more wardrobe changes than it does plot.
Yeah.
And they do this they try to use this as an excuse for them to change costumes and, sexy costumes from one to the other. They try to act like this is part of their mission, but it's not.
Armory open?
Bunch of dildos.
Now, have you noticed that you can't have an action movie now where somebody doesn't open a chamber to a closet?
To a closet.
That's a full-on armory.
And by this point, y'all look, James Bond.
I'm talking about John Wick. You do it too.
Yeah, but the thing is, John Wick would have got his shit and been gone. James Bond would have got his shit and been on his mission. These motherfuckers are shopping. At the end, like I ain't trying to be sexist, but we at this point we are shopping.
Yeah.
We are not. And I say that because all this cool shit that we're looking at, we never use any of this.
You're right.
I wouldn't have cared about them trying on different clothes and whatnot had they actually been used for the story, the spy story. This is a spy film.
Yeah.
Most of their spy stuff revolves around them just changing costume, and not like some cool Mission Impossible shit. No, let's change into some booty shorts. Let's change into some shit that's shiny.
Well, but that is part of the thing. It's like, hey, we use our feminine wiles because men don't expect much from us, and we can use sex appeal to cloud their minds.
And you know what? And I thought that would have been great. Actually,
because they open with that.
Yeah, they do, and I would have been fine with that because even though we're talking about girl power and whatnot, I can hear the argument. Well, if this is such a feminist film, then why are they using their sex appeal? Well, I can understand them using their sex appeal against dumbass guys who fall for that shit. I'm sorry, man, we're suckers for that shit.
Yeah.
James Bond would have saved the world by this point. We would have had world peace if he had a pussy. He would have taken out everybody. We wouldn't even have movies. If James Bond was a chick, he just would have the dude and then shot him. Okay. This would have been cool had they been using their sex appeal like that. I'm tired of movies trying to have a twist when you really don't need one now. Movies just try to have a twist because everybody doing it.
Yeah.
And the one in here is handled very clumsily. And the twist that they have in here, not only can you kind of see it coming in a way because they introduced something way too early, but it gets to a point where it's just kind of like, this doesn't even feel sincere. there are scripts where you write a twist and you're like, oh shit, ain't nobody gonna figure this out. And then there's some where it's like, well shit, I got to put this shit out by tomorrow. So,
yeah, it's somewhere. Yeah, here's my script, and they read it like, it's good, but there's no twist in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't write one. I know, but put a twist in there.
Yeah. Audience is like that.
Okay, I guess I can try to.
Yeah, every movie got one. Yeah. Yeah. So hey, how about we do a twist and not have one?
Yeah. Something I found a problem with is the different types of humor they were going for, because they got Naomi Scott and she's the fish out of water who's like introduced to everything, and it's all like, oh golly, oh what's this? What do I do now?
Yeah.
But then Kristen Stewart, she's sort of like God, what's her name? Kate McKinnon in Ghostbusters, and that she's got sort of a random, quirky, oddball personality. Now she works it much better, because it's she's not overacting and coming up with some things off the wall. But it does seem like they don't have a lot down for their personality, so she was just going for something. And I was like, she's probably adding more to this than what was in the script.
They all have very basic types. Like this chick right here, Ella Balinski. She's the angry, serious, tough chick out to avenge her sensei or her mentor or whatever.
Right.
Naomi Scott from Aladdin. Mm-hmm. I'm glad to see her take a different turn.
Right.
Not try to be so sexy and whatnot. She's actually the goofball, insecure comedy relief that we got right here. And
that's commenting on everything that's happening.
Yeah.
It gets annoying kind of quickly.
And then you got Kristen Stewart, who she's the one that when you talk about her, she's the smart ass with no filter, possibly lesbian. We don't know.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah.
I don't think they hide that too well.
But these things could have worked if these girls actually had chemistry, if there was some sisterhood going on, if we felt like they had actually had some history together. We don't feel like that because the movie jumps into it so fast. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Kristen Stewart, I actually like her. This is the first time I've seen her ain't being pissed off.
Yeah, she's not mopey.
She ain't mopey and angry and shit. She's taking her antidepressant pills and she's actually kind of
having fun with it.
But the stuff that they write for her,
exactly.
the stuff is, man, they stopped the movie to have her tell some lame shit.
Yeah,
they're not even jokes that make sense. Mm-hmm. There's a part in here where she comes in and somebody says something to her and she comes in and she responds with more money, more problems, and it's like, all right, well, haven't heard that in a while, but sure, okay. But it's like when you're ready to let that go, you're just kind of like, okay, whatever. Okay. No, that's not funny or anything, but all right, whatever. But they follow up with another joke that don't even make any sense. They ask her, they said, she's out there riding a horse, and somebody said, when did you learn to ride a horse? And she says, more money, more horses. What the f*** does that mean? What the fuck? I stopped to look around the theater. I was like, anybody get this shit? Did you hear that shit?
I did hear it. But by that time, because that's later in the film, I had no expectations from any of the jokes at that point. Because I think there was, Elizabeth Banks told one joke that I thought was funny. But all the rest of the film, every joke was just flat.
This shit's called Charlie's Angels, and there's people in here. I want to see I want to see everyone but these angels. Mm-hmm. There's so many other interesting characters besides the angels. I don't know who. Like, I appreciate that their cue was not a guy who gave them gadgets. It was more like a guru who gave them like massages and herbal teas, and
pedicures
and pedicures. Yeah, for some reason I kind of like that. I was like, man, I want a movie about this dude. Put that motherfucker on a mission.
I knew he was in good shape, but were you shocked by how jacked Jaimin Hunsu is?
I was shocked by how quickly they got his ass out the movie.
Oh, yeah.
That motherfucker, you right, he is jacked. That motherfucker, he worked out for nothing. I don't want to spoil nothing for y'all, but that motherfucker, he might as well not even been a name.
Yeah.
He's in the movie just enough to go like, no, and he's out. I was like, man, I felt bad for him. I was like, that's it. He's wasted.
I know.
That motherfucker got jacked for this role, and it did nothing for him. They have other characters in here that I do find more interesting, but even those characters are taken from the earlier movie, the 2000 film. Do you remember Crispin Glover?
Yeah.
As the thin man?
Yeah.
From the first one. Like, a lot of people remember that character because he was just so weird.
Yeah.
He was just so kind of creepy in a way.
Yeah.
This movie, has their own version of the Thin Man. Instead, they
Right.
got the Tattooed Man.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like, it's the same shit that they
That
had
guy's
earlier.
always in stuff, and he just has this creepy look about him.
And
I
like
think because he's able to act and just stare with sort of a smile, but not really.
Yeah, I forgot
never
the actor.
blinks.
I forgot the actor's name. Jesus, I forgot. Let me see. I forgot the actor's name. I think I got it right here. Jonathan Tucker is his name. I like the character, but the character's already been done.
Yeah.
And actually, it was done better.
I know.
In Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
2000.
I know.
That's one of the reasons why that movie worked. This movie is so generic. This particular film is so generic in its story. Let me see here. Hold on. It's so generic in its story, and it's so bland with its lead characters. Because I'm sorry, those characters are just not that memorable.
No, they're not.
They're so bland with all of that the movie just lacks personality. Now
That's really what it's missing.
yeah,
Because having personality can carry you past the generic plot.
Yeah.
Or even action sequences that are like subpar to things you've seen 100 times already.
say what you will about Charlie's Angels 2000. I mean, it was reviewed okay. It wasn't like wasn't a lot of critics didn't like love it, but people were surprised by it. They said this is better than it probably should be.
Yeah.
And the movie was a hit. And the main reason why is because the movie had personality. How did it have personality? It did one simple thing. It knew that it didn't have a whole lot, so it wasn't afraid to make fun of itself for exactly what it was.
Another movie from an old TV show.
What are you gonna do?
Walk out.
And I remember even watching the trailer, and before people even knew what that was, before people even knew it was Charlie's Angels, they said, did LL Cool J and a dashiki just kidnap a white man and jump out of a plane? People already interested, like, man, I'm watching this shit. I don't even know what this is. But, that movie, I mean, so it's an old go-to. It's an old gimmick. It's an old device. But, to make fun of itself, a movie to make fun of itself when it has nothing. But it works well if you use it well.
Sure. If your jokes are funny or your main characters have personality where you like seeing them. And the three of them, Lucy Liu and Drew Barrymore and Cameron Diaz, they worked well together.
And each of them had personalities where they not only did they feel like they worked together, but all of them had personalities that made you like that made them appealing to you. Bill Murray was there. All of this had they had actors that embraced certain personality traits, or they let the actors embrace who they are. This is not really there with that.
I mean, it's trying. I don't know. I mean, I can totally see how it came together and how Elizabeth Banks was excited to do it. And some of what she was going for, I'm on board with. I get it. And I think to a certain level, it's entertaining to the people it's going after.
Did you notice every transition was a song?
Yeah.
Every transition. And it gets to a point where, I mean, I don't hate this movie. There are moments where it's actually, like I said, the action's pretty cool. It moves quickly. There are some funny parts in there. I think that it's maybe I'm not liking style over substance, but the style that's in there, I did like what they were doing. Those moments that they went to parties and whatnot, those things were fun and they were shot well. And I like how they gave little flashbacks to and for true fans, they gave little flashbacks to the other film. Like when you see the costumes in there, they put little Easter eggs in there for people.
Yeah, if you were a fan of TV series, little Easter eggs. They play a tiny snippet of the theme song once or twice.
So yeah, it's not like they're just totally devoid of anything clever in here. It's something where they actually do put a lot of work into certain things. It's just that I don't think they put a lot of work into things that really make, what would make a very good movie. But the whole feminist angle here, don't like it. I think it's pushed. I think it's forced in there. There are some parts where I think it could have worked if, again, these girls had actually had a natural feeling of being a team or a sisterhood, but they don't. So this whole thing, I mean, the movie opens up, the opening credits don't even have anything to do with the film. It's just a bunch of girls hanging out with each other, girls who ain't even in the movie. It's just, here's a girls' soccer team. Here's a bunch of Asian girls hanging out with each other. It's just like, when you start putting in, I don't give a if it's feminist, if it's a black message, if it's a Hispanic message, if it's a gay message. If you're putting stuff in there that has no connection to the movie and it stops the movie to put that message there, then to me, it's forced. It doesn't work. Say what you will about Terminator, Dark Fate. This movie had problems. A strong female angle or a feminist angle was not one of them. They actually worked that into the story and it made sense. And it was actually something that I enjoyed about it. When you just start forcing in shit, a message and something, then I'm out. And I don't think it worked. They actually have subplots in here where they're stopping to like do Planned Parenthood and shit. That's very noble of you. But it don't fucking work for a story when you got to stop for everything. You got to stop to show me, you stop the movie to say part of your spy mission is to hand out tampons. Come on, man. Charlie's Angels is right for a reboot today.
Well, not now.
Not now. And I've actually seen a lot of critics go in and actually enjoy this. I think it's ranking like 63% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's what I last saw.
And that's fine. The movie is not terrible. Like I said, man, y'all know I saved. And it was for the first 15, 20 minutes, it was. Because I'm looking at certain things that they did in here that just seemed lazy. And Martin, you and I were laughing at part of that. They just bring people here. I don't even know they got him in here. Poor Patrick Stewart just walking through this shit. I'm serious, walking through this shit.
Who steals? Your manager? Need money.
Outstanding. Angels.
For the most of the movie, that's what he does. Just walks around. Oh, very good. He might as well be a butler. Now, as the movie went on, I actually did start to enjoy him.
Oh yeah,
a little bit more.
No, he was actually sort of my favorite character.
He was mine near the end of it.
Yeah.
But I was mad at the way they did this, man. They had they had some scenes where it's supposed to be him young. Like they brought up all these pictures of him from when he started with the agency, and that shit was some horrible Photoshop.
Oh, that Photoshop.
That's shit.
What it was, yes.
That shit was some of the worst Photoshop I'd ever seen. And Martin started laughing because I sat next to him. I was like, and I wasn't even thinking. When they showed, I was like, Jesus. And when Martin started laughing, I was like, you see what I'm seeing? Like, man, they have him when he's supposed to be young. They even try to take the wrinkles out of his face. They just Photoshopped a toupee on him.
Toupee on him. A big Superman toupee, a pompadour.
They had pictures from the 70s where it all looked grainy and his shit was all clear and everything. I was like, why y'all do this, man, like this? I said, if this is supposed to be a comedy, then this is hilarious. Yeah. And I waited for a little bit. I'm like, no, this is just shitty Photoshop. Yeah. And I was like, man, okay, I'm done. And the way this movie is even going right now is kind of lame. By the end of it, I was having a little bit more fun than I did before, but still not enough for me to say just oh shit, be quiet, Patrick Stewart. Not enough for me to say anything beyond a rental. Not an enthusiastic rental, not a bad rental, just a plain old rental.
This movie is the definition of a mess, in as much as it's trying to be too many different things. There's only so much I can say. Well, this isn't for me. Because I was like, for me or not, even the people you're doing this for, they deserve better than this. And your reach does not exceed your grasp.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just not getting it. It's not quite a matinee, but I would say it's a high rental.
Okay. Rental area, yeah. Like I said, there's just things in here that I like better than some of the other characters. Sam Claflin, I want to see more of besides.
Oh, I know.
Shit, I mean.
But then again, okay, by the time he comes in, he's overdoing it a bit.
No, he is.
Like the movie was here, and then he came in up here, and I kind of felt like it's not that I hate what you're doing, but not in this.
I mean,
if we started with you doing this, it would have been fine.
And people have probably already noticed this. And if you have, you are absolutely correct. There are episodes of Totally Spies that got more depth than this.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen 30-minute episodes of Totally Spies that got more of a plot.
Sure.
And more character.
Yeah.
These goddamn cartoon girls got more character than these human girls that I've seen up here. That's why I can't really get with it that much.
I hear you. Because you don't leave going, man, I hope they make another one of these.
No, hell no.
And wasn't this a movie we saw that had about 18 endings?
Oh, Jesus Christ. What, man? I ain't never looked back so much in the theater. I'm walking around. I'm like a gazelle trying to drink water and looking for lines. I'm walking out and they have another stinger. I'm like,
yeah, half the movie is stingers.
Yeah. They start rolling the credits again. Hey, girls. Just Spider-Man coming out. It's like, Martin, I was like, in this shit. Because you're going to get us every time. We're not going to leave.
Uh-huh.
We're going to keep looking. And y'all going to keep showing shit that ain't got nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah, it's a 3-act movie that has a 4th act that's all in the stingers.
Hell yeah, shit. God damn, is Thanos gonna pop up somewhere? I would love you. Might as well have done that after they defeated the boss right here. They should have Thanos just grab the device. Fine, I'll do it myself. Shit.